top 3. So quick guidelines before we begin. If you could please state your name and affiliation, that will help our athletes know who to address. And also you will have time to ask a follow-up question today, but if you could please move that mic around the room. We also have some media joining us online. So with that, I'll be introducing to you your top 3. Joe Shimoda is not going to be joining us today. As you may have known from his podium interviews, he is feeling under the weather. So he will be absent from this press conference, but Seth Hamaker and Nate Thrasher. So, Seth, we'll start with you. This has been another strong day. What is your approach going into the finals next weekend? You're in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm in a good spot. It was a solid day all around. I felt better physically today. Obviously, we're inside. It wasn't as hot out, and had 2 more consistent motos than I had been. And second moto was a big step in the right direction, just with, being more consistent. Lap times didn't drop off as much, and wanted to try and get Joe, but he was riding pretty well, and on the track that kind of had a limit to it. Just had to ride a little bit safe, and overall good day. As far as next weekend, I just want to go in there and try to win the race and see where that puts me, but and just keep this consistent kind of riding going, and wherever that puts me in the end of the championship, hopefully it'll be up there, but we're getting one more race and then we're into the off season, so it's been a pretty good year so far, and just looking to keep that going.
Nicely done, Seth Hamaker. We'll open it up to questions from the media.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. Seth, it seemed like, obviously both of those motos you were kind of right behind Joe, like within a second to a couple of seconds. If you were able to kind of get right on him, did you have a place in mind where you think you could have made the pass?
The sand was kind of a passing opportunity the whole time. If you could kind of get close and maybe in that next bowl corner, that was kind of the plan, but I was struggling in the sand. I wasn't great in there all day, so it was just kind of like if an opportunity came about, I could kind of plan it there, or after the finish line, and then that left right before the rhythm section. In the first 450 moto, I saw Jet make a ton of passes, like squaring that up and then getting on the right side of that rhythm lane. And he would be on the inside heading into the sand and kind of chop the guy. And they would have to go to the outside, and he would just funnel to the inside and make a pass. So that would have been 2 areas where I feel like I could have made a pass if I was close enough.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live for Nate. You were one of the few guys that was kind of able to work forward in both races, but it looked really hard to make up time on this track. Where do you feel like you were making those strides each moto?
I feel like in the first moto I had a terrible start, and I was just quite a bit more aggressive than everybody else. I felt like last weekend I really struggled not being aggressive enough and just didn't make my way forward. And I really kind of focused on that going into that. It didn't matter to start. I was just going to be as aggressive as possible. And I just kind of I was just setting up the passes really well. And kind of blew me out a little bit on that second. I was a little tired going into that one, but it's what do you do when you don't get a good start? And that second one I gave it all I had, but just didn't quite have the fitness to run all that time. Just a little tired from that first one.
Steve.
Steve Mathis, Track Talkers. Seth, question for you. This is the third year of SMX. First time we've been in like a dome, a real tamed down Supercross track, not really outdoors-ish at all. Thoughts on this track tonight compared to a traditional SMX, the other ones that you've done?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging one. Obviously, there's only so much they can do with the track and obstacles and everything like that, and I just feel like the way, there's only so much they can do. So, like, the layout just funneled into a racing line that was the fastest, and it was hard to make passes on. And we say that all the time about it's one line, it's hard to make passes, but it kind of was showed up more here, and I think it's a good mix, like for them to do at least one race like they did, and the middle one here in St. Louis. I think it mixes it up, and I don't know. I feel like maybe have even one like that is more Supercrossy than this, and then one like maybe the first one maybe be like more of an outdoor style, like even more outdoor than a drag strip race. And that would make it tough on us, like with just kind of going back and forth. But I think it just, SuperMotocross is supposed to be combined, with both, and then leave the last one as like a drag strip and a hybrid. So maybe something for the future. But overall, I feel like they, did as best as they could with what we were given.
Alex Gobert.
Thanks. Yeah, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Seth, when you get into these double points, triple point scoring rounds, how much does strategy go out the window and it's just a matter of, effectively fighting the whole way?
Yeah, the double and triple points. I mean, at these races, you need to be on it. The first race is the one to make the mistake at if you have a bad race. But coming into the second and third round, it's super critical to be up front, land on the podium, and give yourself as good of a shot as you can heading into the last final race in Vegas. I believe I'm 14 down, and obviously with triple points, if I go out and win, and even if Joe gets second, I still won't win. But hopefully, I can just put myself in a good position and let all that play out how it does. But yeah, definitely super critical. And I mean, I've been consistent. Those 5 points that I got docked last weekend are definitely huge now because that would put me, I think, 9 back. So yeah, it is what it is. But those points matter in a short championship like this. And yeah, just grateful to be in the position I am, 3rd overall, heading into the last round.
Adam Intignat, PulpMX. This one's for Nate Thrasher. I feel like I see you so often be so good, and then the next weekend you're not quite in the mix. Can you give us some insight on what was the reason that you were so fast tonight?
Yeah, I feel like towards the end of even the end of Supercross, after I got hurt, after that first round, I was pretty solid. Had some bad races, but mainly just just went down. There, I was pretty solid coming in, and then outdoors, I was really struggling. Just hadn't rode it in a long time there in the beginning, and was just struggling with the bike, honestly. And then with 2 to go, I found something with a different link, and with the bike just made me so much more comfortable. And then went and got 7th at Unadilla, and then Bud's was 5th. So it was just kind of trending. And then going into these races, once I got back on the SMX track, man, I was really going fast in practice there. And then in Charlotte, just didn't have just wasn't aggressive enough, like I said. But yeah, I had the speed there too, I feel like, to run inside the top 5. And then today, just a little bit tighter, and just kind of suited me a little bit better. And yeah, I felt good from the get-go. This dirt's amazing, and just was trying to be as aggressive as I could all day.
Congrats.
Nick Still.
Yeah, thank you. Nick Still with MotoOnline.com for Seth. Seth, looking at what has happened throughout Supercross at Salt Lake City, we've seen what your teammate did today. Going into Vegas next weekend, are you prepared to do what you can do to win this championship? And then winning this championship, is that redemption for Salt Lake City and Supercross?
It would definitely be nice to get the championship and kind of get some redemption on what happened at Supercross. But going into the last round, I feel like for the experience that I went through in Salt Lake City, I've never been in a championship fight like that, so I feel like I should be more comfortable and a little bit more calm next weekend. And just like I said, I'm a little bit I'm not out of it by any means, but anything can happen. And at this point, it's like a lot of money on the line, and all of us will do whatever it takes to get that win. So I'm gonna just put my best foot forward. Probably just try to execute starts and put that stuff behind me if I can, and see how it plays out. But try to stay out of the chaos and just do my thing.
Michael
Antonovich with Course Heading. This will be for Nate. Hey, you guys have this track, this exact pretty close replica at the compound, and you guys have done a lot of scrimmages and all that. Did you know that it would race the way that it did after all of the laps that you guys have put on it? And how did you set a strategy for this weekend?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be one line. Just, I feel like the biggest passing point in a Supercross race is the whoops. It comes down to that, and if the guy's not as good in the whoops, he's going to ride a little bit tighter around the rest of the track. So I think it kind of opens up a lot. So yeah, I knew it was going to be one line. Our track wasn't quite the same. We didn't have the tunnel, so we never went out of the stadium. It was a little bit different. Ours was actually even more one line than this after that section. So yeah, I knew it was going to be one line, but yeah, I think you could make a pass, but you just had to really dive bomb tonight. There just wasn't, even in the split lane, I feel like they could have made the outside maybe a little bit better. It was just the inside was just too good. I feel like if you went out there, you just lost time. So I feel like if they made that a little bit better, maybe you could, even closer, you could rush that outside and get a pass. But I knew it was going to be pretty one line. But I feel like all these tracks are kind of one line. Even last weekend, like it was so deep in the outdoor section, if you went to the insides, you just kind of got stuck on the 250. So I feel like even last weekend was one line. So I don't think it's any more one line here than it was last weekend.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's all we have time for our 250 SMX division. Joe Shimoda, Seth Hammaker, and Nate Thrasher. And we'll be bringing up our 450 SMX top 3 in just a moment. And as we wait for them to approach the lectern, as you all should know by now at this point in time, we're going to Las Vegas Motor Speedway next weekend, the drag strip for the SuperMotocross World Championship finals. Our season will come to a big conclusion, and it's great to be back in Las Vegas. And now we'll welcome up to the stage Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac. And we're going to give this a brief pause as we wait for the others. Well, Hunter, I know we have plenty of questions queued up from our media for you, so we're going to dive right in. Playoff 2, man, these have been special for you. I want to know, what kind of tone did you start this day with that ultimately got you here?
Ah, that's a great question. I didn't even know. I couldn't even, it's not even that deep. Like I'm racing, just trying to do the best I can. Just trying to make ends meet, just working away.
Well, how special was this to celebrate this day? I mean, not just your win, but with your brother's success today in Moto2 and Joe Shimoda. That had to have been quite the celebration at the end of the race today.
Yeah, I didn't care about Jet's success in the second moto. More pope for Joe. Happy to get the overall. Jet's had enough wins, so we can just overlook that one. But yeah, it was good. The week actually got off to a pretty weird Thursday night dinner at a local restaurant that was just the most weirdest experience ever. So it was good to turn it out, finish on a good high note.
Oh, that's good to hear. We'll welcome Eli Tomac into the conversation as well, and we'll open things up to questions from the media. Michael?
Yeah, Michael Antonovich with course heading for both of you guys. Can you take us through those last few moments of race 2? Jet's there, you guys are reeling in on that. The lap traffic and everything is playing a part into it. So how was that battle for you guys to go through, especially on a track like this?
It was tricky because I think all of us think the same thing when we're coming up on lappers on a track where it's so tough to gain time, and I think it's pretty like, oh shit, like get out of the way, because yeah, it can, the slightest bauble can like cost you time, or maybe have you lose a position. So it was cool. I can only imagine it would have been pretty sweet to watch from a fan point of view. It was a sweet race.
I would say I had better luck with the lappers in Moto2 than Moto1. Like Moto1, I had more moments, so I was getting balled up. But yeah, it seemed like they were giving Jet a heck of a time. And then of course it was close there in that sand section. And then Hunter was just right on my rear wheel basically, the whole time also. So yeah, it was close there at the end.
All right, question here. Steve Mathis, Start Your Systems for Hunter. 2 questions about the track. First up, what did you think of this one? It's the first one that we've done in a dome. It's kind of a tame Supercross track, different SMX than used to. And then also that split lane, if I looked right in qualifying, everyone had their fastest lap, or most people did, maybe not your brother, on the inside. And then the inside was the first main, and then the second main, it looked like the outside you guys all figured out was faster. So what changed? Take us through that switch a little bit, because it's funny how you all guys figured that out right away for the second main.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's the same as why you see us cutting down in the berms more, because the top right gets too bumpy. We're running pretty close to a Supercross setup bike, and sure, you can maybe do it one lap for a qualifying lap, but every lap just hitting those really harsh bumps, it just beats you up a little bit. So kind of same thing, better drive, go through that next double a little flatter as well. But yeah, it's funny how something doesn't work all day. Even yesterday, it's not working, and then by second moto, it comes around. But it's cool.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers is for Hunter. Obviously, on a different level, I rode Supercross with my brother as well, and one of the things is you grow up together. You know everything about your brother, and I feel like one of the hardest thing was to beat my brother, and that's the situation. You're coming into Las Vegas. What is going to be the hardest thing for you to be able to beat your brother?
I think it's the same as everyone else that's racing him. You know, when he's out there on the track, obviously the guy's good, and I'm doing everything I can. So there's, I know how to push his buttons better than anyone else. You know, I know when he's feeling good, when he's not feeling good, but I definitely don't try to push those buttons when he's not to maybe my advantage on a race day or something. I just couldn't really live with myself as a brother to do that. I want to beat him at his best, and actually, you know what? Last night at dinner, I wanted to bash him. He really was pushing buttons, but we got him tonight. So,
great job,
Kellen.
Kellen Brower with Swap Moto Live for Jet. That off-camber doubling out from the inside, you did it maybe halfway through the first race. Like, what goes into figuring out a line like that? Because it seemed to really kind of push you forward towards the end of that first race, and then you used it in the second race to even get away from Eli.
Not sure, really. Just after doing it more and more and kind of realizing roll sucked for me and I couldn't do it good. So it kind of started to get a kicker halfway through that you could kind of, on a 450, it really helps with the torque a lot. So I was able to get it clean in the first moto a lot when there was no one in front of me. But then that second moto, it was a little more difficult because kind of the rut was a little different. It didn't hook back as much like the first one. The first one kind of, you came out pretty straight, where this one you're still kind of turning off of it. So it would make it really more difficult. And obviously with a paddle tire as well, it doesn't help. So I was able to get those few times, but I just kept, there's other times I was framing it and almost losing time. So it's kind of just like, all right, I just got to eat my medicine and kind of just get roll as best as I can.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. A general question for all three of you. Anstey was able to quite consistently quad into the sand after to come out of the rhythm section. Was that something you guys did throughout the day at all? And why was that not a racing line? Start with you.
I guess he just had bigger balls than us. We half did it every now and then. I mean, I faced it a lot, but I don't know, just never, I thought of it in the second one, but I also didn't want to frame it and crash. So, yeah, it was just like a risk play, I guess.
Yeah, I would say the outside never really was great. It seemed like in the race, it was more important just to nail the inside. And and also if you could get the triple, and then sometimes you could get a double into the sand. So going quad straight into the sand, in my opinion, was too much risk.
Yeah, it was, like you said, you'd get triple and then jump off the last rhythm over the first sand. Roller on the inside, which was kind of, seemed to be a good flow. If you landed quad, bike compresses and then uncompress when you want to be light and stuff. So just kind of had to be patient in that first bit of the sand. But yeah, the outside didn't really come around all day, it didn't seem like.
Dan Beaver.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. For Eli, in those closing laps when Jet got hung behind the lappers, were you aware of the point situation that beating him would give you the win overall? And did that add any sense of urgency, or we're already just on the limit regardless?
Yeah, actually, I did know that. And there was really nothing I could do other than hope for maybe a couple more lappers, but that wasn't the case. So, of course, I got close, really close in that sand, and then I was able to get that, that triple double into the sand really nice. So, got close, but not close enough, and that was it. The lappers really kind of gave me the one shot, and yeah. Didn't make it happen.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Hunter, when you think of SMX and you know, since 2023 from Chicagoland and what that layout was, and then when you think of, you know, a stadium like tonight, what is the ideal track for SMX in your opinion? I know that the bigger series makes up the hybrid type scenario, but for you, what's the ideal layout?
I don't really know, actually. Last year, Texas was a cool layout, I thought, but the dirt was super, super hard. But Charlotte, I thought, was a pretty good layout. Just obviously the rain made the track really soft, the dirt, so it was really tricky. But I thought that layout was good. I don't know. I think like ideal layout would be something that probably wouldn't be real good to race, but it's just fun, you know, so it's kind of tough. I couldn't really put a pen to paper on what I think the perfect ideal layout would be for the SMX series, but Dirtworks crew do their best job and they do a good job of it.
We've got time for one more. Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, MotoXpod.com. Eli, I'll go to you with this triple points format coming up next week. I know you guys have a lot of respect for each other, but does it lean into being a little more aggressive next weekend if the opportunity's there?
Well, I mean, I wish I was within, I guess, 9 points. You know, then I think the torpedoes would really come out. But yeah, you never know. It's Vegas. You roll the dice, see what happens, and yeah, we've got a big prize on the line. But yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm not within that 9. So, but like I said, never know what happens.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations. That's all we have time for this evening. Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac, your 450 SMX top 3. And please stick around. We still have one more session of top 3s, and that is our SMX Next division. So we'll welcome up our top 3 in just a moment. Okay, and with that, we'll welcome up our SMX Next World All-Stars, Ryder Malinowski, Caden Minier, your champion, and Cade Johnson. Well, first of all, gentlemen, congratulations on what has been a great season. We'll open things up with you first, Ryder. So just given how many times you were so close this season, given how you entered this season coming off of a brutal injury, can you even begin to put into words the meaning of this win in the final round?
Yeah, it means a lot. It was definitely not an easy race for me. Had pressure the whole time, but yeah, we got a good start and led the whole race and went, I would say, perfect.
How much of a reset did you have to make after yesterday? I mean, getting collected with a few other riders, some damage to the bike. Was it hard to make that reset?
Yeah, it was for sure. It's pretty disappointing. I wasn't in it for the championship, to be honest. You know, with yesterday having a good start too, and then just going down in one of the first turns. So, yeah, it was frustrating, but we had a reset. Couldn't carry that in to today, and yeah, pulled the tear off last night, and yeah, went for it today.
Excellent work. Questions from the media? Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This is for all three of you guys. You know, I didn't have this program when I was coming up through Supercross, and I'm definitely very jealous of it. Sorry, guys. What is one huge takeaway that you value from this experience, from the very beginning to all the way to right now? What is the biggest thing that you have learned racing the SMX Next program?
Yeah, I think the SMX Next program is awesome. If I could pinpoint it to one thing, I would say riding in stadiums, honestly, is a little bit weird. Just getting used to it and just riding under the lights, I mean, just being able to ride the whole experience. I mean, I think it's helping these riders so much. I mean, you can see the talent come through. I mean, Davies, Deegan, Beaumere, like the 250 class is going to get faster and faster because kids are going to get an opportunity to ride in the SMX Next. So I think it's an amazing opportunity. I'm truly blessed to have this and be able to ride with these amazing people and kids, and get my feet wet before going fully into it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing as Kate, to be honest. Super grateful to even have the opportunity to race these races at the kind of like the pro level, I would say. We're kind of our own little level, I would say. We're not pro, but we're not amateur in the same sense. But, it's, no, I would say just being able to handle the pressure. I mean, you're always going to be nervous when you go racing these races, but just handling the pressure, definitely, it makes it easier. Walking under the tunnel when it's dark with the lights on and all the fans. So definitely that, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Kate said it really well. I think it's just getting experience on these tracks, riding the same tracks as the pros, getting to watch them, getting to learn new things each time you go out.
Jeff
Beaver with Whiskey Throttle. This is for Caden and Ryder. So we were out at Club on Monday, and you guys were running through the drills out there. Did you guys have any inkling in your mind Monday when we were out there and you're pounding laps on that Supercross track that you'd be sitting right here right now tonight?
I mean, I believed I could do it, but at the same time, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say it was, I mean, I knew me and Cade were going good speed for sure, but to come out here and put everything together and end up top 3 in these future races or SMX Next races, it's really tough. You gotta, if you don't get a good start, there's a lot of carnage you have to get through the first lap. So I would say no, but I'm happy we did.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I for sure thought, but I had a good feeling. Unfortunately, I felt better in Charlotte. Like, I felt really good. In the second qualifying at Charlotte, I qualified fastest. So, I felt really good. I felt like my suspension worked really well in the kind of the half and half layout more. This is a little more supercrossy. So, I'm still happy that I got the good result. But, like I said, I wish we would have raced last week. Obviously not in the mud, or maybe in the mud. I did pretty good at Foxborough, but, it was cool. And to be able to ride at Club with the fast people and, kind of get a feel with your speed and translate to the race is awesome.
And did your mom tackle you when you came off the track?
Not this time. At Foxborough, she did. But she gave me a big hug.
Scott.
Scott, you're at Moto now. Cade, you're sitting up to guys that have support from like professional teams, obviously with Star and Club. What is your program like, and how is it maybe different from theirs?
I think we talked about this a little bit. So I am a privateer. It's just the lack of manpower kind of. I mean, I have such a strong supporting cast of my family. The castmans have helped out a ton, but, I mean, I am a privateer. Like, where I'm on my own bike. I'm driving to races, where I could be flying and get extra day of training, extra sleep, whatever else. So, it's just being able to manage and be that much better. And maybe one day whenever I get a ride, I'll take another step up because I have those opportunities. So, it's just learning and finding things and, being the best we can because it's a smaller group. Obviously we don't have suspension guy, we don't have this, that, and the other, and, we have to fill in where we need to be. So,
Privateer again next year?
For now. I mean, I'd like to talk to some teams and then, see where that leads me. I'm gonna try to keep proving the teams what I have and keep trying to be the first place privateer. So, trying to get the ride.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra with RacerX Online. Let's with Kate with you for this one. When you reflect on your 2025 season, I feel like you came a long way. I think at the first round you raced this, the Supercross season, you said you hadn't ridden track a Supercross with anybody else. You obviously had the Supercross win in Foxborough. You went through Loretta's. You went through this 2-race championship. Kate, what was your biggest learning experience and thing you can point to of whether it was a win or it was a failure? What was the biggest thing you can take away this season that you think made you grow the most?
Man, I don't know. I appreciate it though. It's funny because I went into Glendale and like if I went in my fastest lap possible, I'd be like 15th. And obviously I'm really competitive. I overrode the bike. I broke my collarbone. We went back. It was tough, obviously going home with a broken collarbone, getting it plated, getting it fixed up. But it was just a slow progression throughout the year. I grew a lot unexpectedly, to be honest. I thought I was going to be like 5'10" max. And all of a sudden I was 6'1". So then it was kind of trying to learn. I mean, I still need to learn how to use my height correctly, and training at the dog pound with the boys, and just locking in on a lot more parts of my program has helped out tremendously. I mean, I'm just taking huge steps in the right direction. Obviously, I was able to win Foxborough, which was awesome. It was obviously mudder, but since then, like, I've just kept getting better and better, and obviously not necessarily on the greatest machinery. So, man, I feel good. I feel like I can get even better. This is gonna be my first off season of actually riding Supercross. Last year we rode Supercross maybe once a week, like 6 weeks before Glendale, so I didn't have much practice on it. And so this year I'm gonna have a whole boot camp and be ready to go.
Good question for Caden Minier. Of course, you just locked up the championship. What's maybe the most important thing that you can point to that says that was the biggest factor in helping me get this championship, or was it just simply a collective effort?
I mean, I've been working really hard at the training track, putting in extra hours with Jeannie, Carmichael, Swanee, Will, all the trainers. We've been putting in a lot of effort, and I'm glad it showed this weekend.
Well done. We'll hear from Nick Still, I believe is next in the queue. Nick?
Yeah, Nick Still with MotoOnline.com. This will be for Caden. Caden, congratulations on your first US championship. It really hasn't been smooth sailing for you. There's been some injury. There's been some time back here in Australia. Is this a breath of fresh air? Was there a time of panic, or is this like, okay, this is finally starting to click now?
Oh, definitely. There was definitely a time of panic when I was laying in a hospital bed multiple times this year. It's been very up and down. Had a collarbone injury at the start of the year, got infected, put me out the whole Supercross season. But I think Hangtown was definitely a breath of fresh air, turned my whole year around, and we've been putting in a lot of effort. Supercross is fairly new to me, so to come out here and show what I was capable of was really good.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. We'll stick with Caden. When you consider your transition to America and obviously part of this SMX Next program, where do you see yourself come 2026, and how's that shaping up for you? Because as Nick mentioned, the injuries did take their toll, but at the same time, every time you are on the track, the results are good.
Yeah, for next year, I wouldn't actually have a clue yet. We're still in discussions, but my goal is to be racing pros. I think that's where I stack up in the field, and I mean, that's what everybody trains for, is to be the best. And they are the best, so that's where I want to be.
We have time for one more.
All right, this one's for Caden. I just want to ask, do you have anything to say to the haters from Iron Man when they said you look like you ate your dessert before your dinner?
Hey, I'm not mad about it. I was fat as hell at that race, but I like food, so I ain't going to be angry about it. I'll probably go get some ice cream after the race, so say what you want. I don't really care.
Because you're the champ.
Dinner of Champions. Well, congratulations. That's Ryder Malinowski, Caden Minier, and Cade Johnson. That is your SMX All-Stars World Top 3. Guys, thank you so much. This has been Playoff 2 of the SuperMotocross World Championship. We'll see you next weekend in Las Vegas.